Wizard.
Hi, I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about the expectation with stain, how long it should last, sealer, stains, whatever you're coating with, and talk about that a little bit because, we walk into a store, we pick up a can, and it says good for 2 years on horizontal, 4 to 4 years on vertical, plus minus, whatever. You got a 5-year stain, usually they're a little more opaque. But then what happens is when something fails or something else goes wrong, and that's where we really get into the wood restoration part of it and the expertise. So yeah, they have to put something on a can, they have to sell it, you have to have some kind of expectation, but then we need to take whatever that expectation is and make it a little bit more of a realistic expectation as the professional, okay? So take it from the Wizard of Wood, there's a lot of variations and a lot of things happen. So let's really get into it and cut into it. The first thing we need to do is talk about the type of wood. When we have pressure treated wood or cedar, it's a soft wood. So if it says, a manufacturer says it's going to last 2 years on a horizontal surface, it's probably going to be plus or minus. That's really what it's meant for. Now if we switch over and we get the Ipe or mahoganies and some of the hardwoods that are out there, okay, they're heavy, then what happens is they're more dense. It's not as soft as this. So when they're more dense, a product cannot penetrate. So if we're talking about a film forming even, they just don't grab the wood like they normally would on softwood. But with the hardwoods, it's going to cut it in half. So when you're telling a customer, you have to make sure that you let them know that, this might be yearly maintenance, especially on the horizontal. And the people that pay a lot of money for these type of hardwood decks pretty much understand that. So between the sun and the density of the wood, it's not going to last. Doesn't matter what's on the can. And we need to let a customer know that. So that's the big thing regarding softwoods and hardwoods. Now, when we get away from the softwoods and the hardwoods a little bit, and we just talk about wood in general, okay? If we have brand new wood, okay, brand new, okay, it's not as weathered, it's not as opened up as some older wood like the picnic table that's right here. So what happens is, the first time, the stain may not last as long. You may tell a customer, if it's 2 years, say, hey, you know what, it'll be 2 years plus or minus, and if it's a little less, we want to get to the maintenance. But after that next time, after the wood is weathered and opened up a little bit more, it's not as new, it's going to last longer. Again, building the expectation. You are currently watching a Wizard of Wood approved video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching our videos. Now, let's talk about one of the big mistakes that a lot of people make is we talk about solid stains. First of all, if you have nice, fairly new wood or pretty decent wood, why would you want to put a solid stain on it? I haven't figured this one out yet. I get painting a house, I get colors, maybe verticals, but sure not on a floor of a deck or horizontal surface where it's going to peel and be prone to the elements and so forth. What a lot of people don't realize is when we start talking about solids and solid products, and I don't care if it's like the Deck Correct or the Deck Over and the ones that are supposed to be like composite or really tough, or just a regular solid stain. Then what happens is when you put that on a horizontal surface, that horizontal surface is moving, first of all. It's expanding and contracting between night and day. If we have the cool night and it cools down underneath and then the sun comes out, it's going to move. So it's expanding and contracting. So if something's solid and the wood's moving underneath, it's going to pop it. If we have older wood that has checks in it, and a check is a crack in the wood that goes with the grain, and it's not structural. They're called checks or checking, and as wood dries out, it'll check up. When wood checks up, it's still a tiny crack, and as that expands and contracts, it'll pop stain as well. So older wood, a lot of people say, okay, the wood's old, I'm just going to put a solid stain and cover it. Worst mistake you can make, because if it has checks and cracks in it, mostly this is going to be pine that has those cracks, not as much in the cedar, it's going to pop and peel. So you really want to stick with more of the sealers or semi-transparents, the transparents, any of that kind of stuff that is going to move with the wood and make it look really good. Solids are going to be a little tough. So all in all, when I start talking about all this stuff, I start formulating what I should tell the customer, depending on the situation. If it's new wood, if it's hardwood, if it's softwood, if it's old wood that's hasn't been, either it's getting near its expiration or it's just aged. It could be structurally real well, but it's not something you want to put a solid on, and it's not going to hold up. We go out to a lot where there are already solids on there on an old deck because somebody did that and they want to take it off because it's peeling. Well, that's a little difficult at that point. So you're probably closer to redecking or building a new deck. You're probably going to have a very difficult time taking the solid stain off. So what's the wizard recommending? The wizard's really recommending for you to really do your homework, hone in your craft, understand the difference between softwoods and hardwoods, horizontal and vertical, new wood, old wood, and change the expectation when you talk to the customer so that they can have a realistic idea of how long the stain should last. If you're not a contractor and you're watching this video, same thing. Your expectation should vary depending on the situation with the wood and not what it says on the can necessarily. That's a guide to go by, but then we also have to take all these other variables in. Hopefully this video is helpful in setting your expectation on how long a stain or a sealer should last on your wood. I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood. If you've liked this video, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video. I'm Everett Abrams, the Wizard of Wood. I got the Wizard of Wood from my peers in the industry, and being the Wizard of Wood, I provide education and have been for well over 20 years and over 10,000 contractors across the nation. So thank you for watching the video. I'm glad you are. But if you want more information and you want to become like the Wizard and have the knowledge that the Wizard has had and that teaches in classes, please visit www.wizardofwood.net. You will get our manual, we get our online classes, and everything to help you take your career to another level. Thank you for watching the video.